Hi, I'm Dr. Kathleen Hefferon. I'm the founder and CEO of Greenovation, and I'm going to talk to you about plant-made replacements for dairy proteins using molecular farming. So we thought we'd start with a poll question. Which of the following proteins do you think is of most relevance for your alternative dairy business to replace? So we have whey, casein, lactoferrin, egg white proteins, or others. I'll give you a few seconds and you can type in the chat which one or several of these proteins are most important for you, or you're having perhaps the most difficulty acquiring. 5 more seconds. All right, and you can keep typing in the chat and I'll go on with my talk. So I have an extensive research background in molecular farming. Molecular farming is a field that uses plants to produce vaccine proteins. This plant production platform has been under development for the past 20 years. And while we have used transgenic plants in the past, our new technologies are based on expression vectors and conventional non-GMO crops to make high levels of a protein of interest. So we have made inexpensive vaccines to combat a whole assortment of diseases, starting with major causes of mortality in developing countries, such as cholera and HIV, to current pandemics, such as COVID-19. But COVID-19 has accelerated the move to meatless alternatives. And so Greenovation is a new venture which uses a molecular farming approach to make plant-based alternatives to dairy proteins. We feel that we can meet these challenges without increased land usage, greenhouse gas emissions, and problems with animal welfare. Our technology was developed at Cornell University by me. So Greenovation offers plant-based proteins that are identical to animal proteins without the negative effects. We can do this faster than most of the current methods available. We can also upscale very quickly, or scale up by just adding plants very quickly. We can make better proteins because we can make just about any animal protein, including highly complex ones, because we can mimic the same post-translational modifications as the protein has. And finally, cheaper. We can make our platform to cut costs. Plants tend to be less expensive to produce to begin with, and because we're using food crops, we can cut many costs. So this is our basic process. Other groups might want to produce a dairy protein in a microbial bioreactor and then purify it. We would use the greenhouse. So we would grow plants expressing our protein of interest and then purify the protein quickly. So this can have an enormous environmental impact. So I've listed here Greenovation's carbon footprint compared to proteins produced in animals today. So cheese proteins we see have a high carbon footprint, and milk proteins as well, and egg proteins also have a carbon footprint. And we can vastly decrease this footprint by using plants instead. We also obviously would decrease land use, as we would use greenhouses or vertical farms. So please join Greenovation, and together we can change this world. Thank you very much.